Good morning, I am Enrico Di Lorenzo, a medicine doctor and extreme metal singer from Rome. Before going on with my speech, I would like to thank Professor Isdelski for inviting me today to talk to you. Unfortunately, I have not been able to be with you physically, so I sent this video recording about my experience gained as a medicine doctor and extreme metal singer and extreme metal singing teacher. I hope you will enjoy it. I'm not going to waste your time showing you the family tree from hard rock to heavy metal and only subgenres, because to tell the truth, it would have to be like this, and this doesn't work. Let's talk about heavy metal vocals. Heavy metal and these subgenres are a very aggressive style of music, so vocals are very aggressive and the use of the voice is really aggressive. Aggressive for the ear. But we also have a nice level of work for vocal folds and for the larynx, so we can say that it's also aggressive for the one who makes the sound and not only for who recites the sound. We find many combinations between vocal folds used in mechanism 1 and mechanism 2. Fourth vocal folds, arytenoids, ariepiglottic folds, used in different combinations depending on the subgenre. And we have a frequently used scratched voice. There is not one kind of metal. This is really important. There is not one kind of metal, so there is not one way of singing heavy metal. Phoniatrician as well as singer must know it. I will focus my attention today on the extreme metal vocals, especially on growl and scream. There are two very particular ways of singing that were born between death metal for the growl and black metal for the scream. What are we talking about when we talk about growl and scream? What is a singer talking about when to you saying, hey, I growl and I scream? We are talking about this. This is death metal and this is growl.
I surrender first, and then the blood of what corrupted was my soul. I have given the curse. For me, I will not be no other. No emotion cannot waste the power to you through.
This was death metal with growling voice. And let's hear the scream of black metal. Here, we are very far from Iron Maiden and Metallica. Let's talk about growl. What's the dictionary definition of growl? To say something in a low grating voice, typically in a threatening manner. In death metal, for growl, we means this. We went in febrile laryngoscopy in the larynx and we saw what happens during the death metal growl. As we see, during the growl, we find a large and slow vibration of the arytenoids, a vibration of ariepiglottic folds, ariepiglottic vocal attack, larynx in low position, and longitudinal and transverse diameters increase, with a very little dynamic range. We went even deeper in the layers to see what really happens on the vocal folds, because everyone has to a growler. How can you damage your vocal folds? We saw what happens in the vocal folds. As we can see, we have an incomplete and inconstant vocal folds adduction. And other changeable features are a tongue in low position and unsteady false vocal folds activity. These 3 points are features that are really changeable because we focus our attention on the growl that everyone would call growl, but there are many kinds of growl with more activity from the vocal folds and from the false vocal folds. But this is the real and pure growl, and as we can see, the work of the vocal folds are really little if compared to the really great wall of sound that we produce. This is the spectral analysis of the growl, in which we can find the format, a very lot of noise in all the spectrogram, most of all concentrated in the lower part of the spectrogram, with a great reinforcement between 2000 and 3000. This is the classic IAO, when we can find that the first format is compressed on the lower part of the spectrogram. Let's talk about the scream. Scream is a long, loud, piercing cry expressing extreme emotion or pain. If with the growl we talk about power, with scream we talk about pain. We went in the larynx with fiber endoscope and we found this. Even here we have a vibration of the arytenoid, aryepiglottic folds and epiglottis. We have an increased longitudinal diameter and a reduced transverse diameter, with the epiglottic squeezed to form an epiglottic box, as I call it. We have the contact between the aryepiglottic folds and the epiglottic edges as well touch themselves. Even here we find an incomplete and inconstant vocal folds adduction. Other unsteady features are the green phase used during the scream that helps to give the particular harmonic structure that we will find on the spectrogram to the and even here an unsteady false vocal folds activity. Here is the spectrogram of the scream. Even here we find noise. Noise on all the spectrum with a very large enhancement around the 1000, between 1000 and 2000 Hz. Even here we can find the format, but the first format has a very large movement. Here the compression of the word is really better. Now let us see a movie about passing from growl to scream, because growl and scream are the black and white of the great scale used by extreme metal singers to make their art. As you will see, they are two broader techniques, because we can easily pass from growl to scream with a lot of something between them that are very frequently used. As we saw today, screaming and growling are supraglottic voices and are different from the scratched voice. Vocal folds during growl and scream work extremely less than what we could think hearing at the scream metal vocals as normal glottic voice. Scream and growl are not scratched voice. This is really important, and phoniatricians as well as singers, as well as the young guys who want to learn to growl and scream, has to know that scream and growl are not scratched voice. Trying to scream and to growl with scratched voice that are the voice that heavy metal and classic metal uses, it will land in failure or in a damage for the vocal folds and the other structure. This is really important. Scream and growl are supraglottic voices. If you're interested in growl and scream, let me tell you that I'm going to publish Extreme Metal Singing, Phoniatric, Logopedic and Didactical Feature, the book in which I put all my knowledge on extreme metal singing as medicine doctor and as extreme metal singer. I leave you with a movie of me singing a song in which I use clean voices, scratched voices, growl, scream, so you will be able to find the great difference between them. Thank you for your attention.
Every day is back again, finding more and more than me. No more calling me soulful, although for the beautiful disguise. When sorrow is father of dear, I live, years of nothing but pain. I be down, this soul will be forever the truth.